It scared me when I first watched it. I was like, what the? Oh my goodness. But it's very intriguing. Hey everyone, and welcome back. As you can tell, I'm still deployed, and I wish I was home with my garden, but it is what it is. I gotta do my job. But I found some interesting videos. I get a fair amount of time to do some research, and I was researching the issue I had with the fungus or the root rot on my dragon fruit, and I came across an interesting video that intrigues me, and I wonder if there's a better way to treat the root rot with a mature dragon fruit than what I showed you all. Now, if you remember right, I showed you how I trimmed it in this video.
So this is pretty much all gone down here, but you see where this yellow is and this green is? Up here, it's still alive. And so the plan is to cut it off here surgically. Surgery with a multi-tool and a nice sharp clean sterilized blade on here, and basically just plug it back in the ground. I've let the soil dry out real good, though we're expecting rain, so I don't know how.
Anyhow, as you know, I cut it as you saw, and it worked, but my dragon fruit were young. They were really young. And so it wasn't a big deal to pull them out, cut them, put them back in the ground. They rooted and they did fine. But what if you got a mature dragon fruit that you really don't want to cut and do that to? I don't think, honestly, I don't know if it would handle it. I don't know if it would root. I think the top of it would die off because it wouldn't have the nutrients it needed. So I found this video that we're going to watch now, and let's see what he does, and let me know what you guys think, because you probably know more about it than I do, but I kind of like what he does here. I actually have one dragon fruit on its own that did this, and it has the stem that you'll see in here. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so let's look at this video. So this one, I'm not even sure if this is the guy's original video, so he has some really odd other videos, but you can see in here he's got a bad root rot problem on a mature dragon fruit. You can see all the other dragon fruit down in here. I mean, it looks like a large dragon fruit farm. So obviously these people, they know dragon fruit, you know. So, and this is the part that kind of freaked me out a little bit. It scared me when I first watched. I was like, what the? Oh my goodness. But it's very intriguing. So if you watch, he is literally taking all the goo, the rotten goo, off the center stem. And then the center stem looks to be quite solid and mature. So let's watch for a minute while he basically skins this poor dragon fruit alive. So in it, he scrapes it. There's no sound with this thing that I'm aware of. Just the sound. He doesn't talk in it. It's just the sound of him getting everything off. So this is interesting. As you can see, it's got a really solid center stem. So I think this is a very mature dragon fruit in the sense of that it's already gone up, it's grown up the trellis, it's branched, you know, it's got the branches coming out, and something's happened. It's got a fungus, maybe overwatering, like I did. And now it's gotten to the point where this has got to be done to it. But you can see there's some hard stems. Those are obviously places where it branched off, and it's fairly solid there. So he's being very meticulous about getting all the rotten goo off. And that's what intrigues me, because if you notice, you can start to see that underneath that goo, that the center stem is actually, I mean, looks pretty green and solid. Like I mentioned before, mine definitely were not that way because I don't think they were mature enough. All right, so we're going to speed this up a little bit, and we'll get to the next part, because basically what he's, like I mentioned, he's just going to scrape all this stuff off. Okay, so we sped through the part where he's getting all the goo off, and now he's snapping those little branches off. Like I said, I think that's where it probably had tried to grow out, and they had trimmed them off so it would grow up. And now you can see where he's making sure he's into the green and getting as much as that nasty goo off. And he's going to spend the next little bit like giving this a good scrape. So we're going to speed through this part too. Okay, so now he's pretty much scraped it all down. He's digging in the soil. He broke off a few more branches. I assume what he's doing is trying to get the contaminated, potentially the fungus, or all the because that is a fungus. I mean, that is pretty much what rot is. He's trying to get all that fungus out of there, and you can see he's digging around the base of it, just checking it and getting all the rot. Being very meticulous about it. I mean, obviously, this is not the first time this individual has done this. So, this is the part that's interesting. I was wondering what this blue stuff is, but I found out in the description it's called for copper sulfate. Now, those of you who are organic growers, I don't know how you feel about that. I'd be interested in your comments about it. I mean, copper sulfate is a natural occurring element. I don't know if there's other stuff in that or where he got it. He doesn't give any information other than it's called copper sulfate. And basically, he's painting it blue with the copper sulfate. I mean, it's blue, I'm sure, is its natural color. But I do know copper sulfate is used to treat fungus. So he's giving it a really good coating of that, and I assume that's going to kill all the fungus all around that stem. And you can see, I wish I could see what he's doing on the other side, but I assume he's going up higher on the other side so that it's, oh yeah, here we go. Now he's doing this side. And this is the interesting part. He's putting a bunch in the soil around it too. So I'm assuming that's to kill the fungus in the soil around the stem. Please, if any of you have done this before, I would love to know more details, because this is the first time I've seen this. Yeah, he's just mixing it in really good. I mean, for me, this is great knowledge, because if I have this happen to a mature dragon fruit, I really don't want to, I don't think cutting it. Okay, so thanks for joining me on that. I will put the link of that video in the description. Like I said, I don't know if he's the original, the YouTube channel that has that, if that's the original channel that produced this, but that's where I found it. So I'm going to put the link, and so you guys can watch it firsthand. But I'm going to do a little more research on this and see what I can find out. But I thought I'd post this as an alternative to potentially doing like I did. Like I mentioned before, I don't think that would work on mature, like those kind of dragon fruits. I don't think that would work with what I did in my video. It works on young dragon fruit, but I don't think it would work on the mature dragon fruit. So take it for what it's worth. And I hope you have much success with your dragon fruit. I hope mine are surviving the deployment. I have my family send me pictures periodically, and there has been some problems, but overall they're surviving, and I'm definitely going to have my work cut out for me when I get home. So thank you for joining me on this adventure, and I hope you have an adventure of your own and enjoy gardening as part of that.